Hey there, YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to make a golf cart street legal in the state of Florida. So, in order for a golf cart to become an LSV, which is the street legal version of a golf cart, a low speed vehicle, you have to meet a few requirements. First, you have to have a golf cart. You have to have headlights, blinkers, rearward facing mirrors, a DOT approved windshield, a windshield wiper. Here's the blinker controls. Horn button right here. You also have to have brake lights, a safety triangle, and a tag holder with a light. So, oh, and seat belts, if I didn't mention that already. Seat belts front and rear on this one. So, installing and getting all of this stuff on here is not the hard part. It's actually the easiest portion of the entire process. One moment, let the truck go by. But what makes this difficult is the paperwork. And there are a bunch of ways you have to do this. For instance, this golf cart came with seat belts. It did not come with anything outside of the seat belts. But all golf carts come with a parking brake. It did have headlights, sorry. But whenever you purchase this item, or purchase the golf cart, on the bill of sale, you have to mention everything that it came with. So on the bill of sale, you have to have the seat belts mentioned, the parking brake, which you would think is a given, but in the state it's not. So you have to mention that the golf cart has a parking brake and headlights. Then you can begin purchasing all of the other stuff. And many times you'll see golf carts online listed with all of these items, but they don't have a title, so you can't register it and you can't make it street legal technically. The whole goal here is to be issued a VIN number. Once you have all of this stuff, you can get a VIN number after the golf cart is inspected. Once you have a VIN number, you can then go to your local tax collector's office and get a tag when you provide insurance, because you'll be issued a title once you're issued a VIN. But here's the other portion of the process, and that is installing all of these parts. So what you have to do is you have to find a reputable golf cart company, and honestly, you can get this stuff on Amazon, but when you contact these people on Amazon about the parts, you have to get a invoice from them. The state needs original copies of your invoices, and I'm going to show you an example of one. So, your invoice has to be stamped paid. It has to have your name, that of who it's being registered to. It also has to show a balance due of $0. And that's the most important part. You have to have that for every single item. The golf cart has to go between 20 and 25 miles per hour. In order to do that, there's a bunch of different ways you could do that by changing gear ratios, etc. But what I did is I put in a new speed controller. The speed controller is underneath the seat here, and actually inside the cavity of the golf cart, so I can't exactly show you that. But for the speed controller, I have an invoice just like that. That stamp paid shows $0 due. For this entire wiring assembly, it all came as one for the horn, the blinkers, it switches the headlights on, and this brake light button, I have an invoice for. Same goes for the mirrors and the DOT approved windshield. And the first thing that they're going to check during the inspection is that stamp to show that this one is AS4. And there's a bunch of different ratings, AS4, AS5, AS1. It has to be those type of windshields in order to be considered a street legal window. And they will check for that stamp. It's the first thing. So once you have everything installed, you can then take your golf cart to go be weighed. It has to be weighed on certified scales. You can use the information in there because the paperwork will ask how much it weighs, and then you file that paperwork with the state. And then the state will contact you when they're ready to inspect your vehicle, and you bring it in and they'll issue you guys a VIN. But it's a pretty easy process. It is not all that cheap. You probably will not be able to pull it off for less than $1,000. It's little items that add up. For instance, a windshield wiper. This one is hand powered, but it meets the criteria, and it is around 50 bucks. Mirrors are cheap. Wiring and all is not the cheapest, but it's not terribly expensive. The most expensive item is going to be whatever you use to make your golf cart reach an appropriate speed. So, overall, any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, subscribe, but that is how you make a golf cart street legal in the state of Florida. And if you're considering doing this, I hope you haven't already purchased your golf cart and you have to jump through hoops in order to make it happen. But like I said, paperwork is the most important part of this process. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Please subscribe.